Everybody. As usual, we are going to record this morning's session, and we'd like you to keep your microphones on mute while we have the presentation going on. So if you have any comments, please put them in the chat. We'll collect those at the end of the presentation and answer any questions. So again, it's good to see everybody, and welcome.
Great. Thanks, Dave. Welcome, everyone. It's great to see everyone this morning. I'm pretty excited about what was going to be presented today. We do know that these are very trying times for our merchants. So the goal is to make this holiday season as best as possible for everyone here and in the city. We have a great partner in Discover Lancaster, and we're also going to be talking about a great collaboration for the holidays to get people to shop, whether they come downtown or online, but shop our local businesses. So it's my pleasure to first introduce Ed Harris. Ed is the president and CEO of Discover Lancaster. He joined at just the right time, right? But in his short time here, Ed has already proven to be a true believer and advocate for the city, something that we appreciate. He's already been a great partner. You'll hear more about that. But he also understands that a strong city is a strong county and vice versa. So that we appreciate and welcome you to the Lancaster City family. Ed has a lot to do. He's accomplished a lot in his short time here. So I'm not going to steal his thunder. I'll let him talk about that. Well, I'll just turn it over to Ed. Ed, welcome. And
thank you.
And the floor is yours.
Well, thank you for the warm intro, Marshall. It's very nice of you. And I've met several of you already in person, and I'm hoping to meet many of you when the time is right, so to speak. And I'm going to jump right in and provide an update on what Discover Lancaster has been up to and some things we're working on right now. And maybe we'll save questions for the end, but I'm going to try to share my screen. Hopefully everyone can see this as I pull this up. I guess I should ask the question, can anyone not see the presentation cover slide that says Discover Lancaster, the road ahead?
All good.
Okay, great. Let's jump right in. So to kick things off, I think it's important to understand how the team at Discover Lancaster is navigating through these unique COVID-19 times. And for us to kind of simplify a more complicated overall strategy, I decided to kind of summarize it into 4 points. And first and foremost, with the fluid nature of the virus, we really need to make sure we're doing our homework and understand the customer as we're creating messaging to put in front of them, and really understanding the visitor behavior as much as we can. And beyond that, we've got to keep our ear to the ground, be aware of trends, know what's happening, not only just around Lancaster, but around other parts of the state and beyond. It's a very unique situation as a marketing-driven organization to be in, but it's also important to identify the groups that make sense who would want to travel and visit Lancaster right now. And then last, but certainly not least, it's developing creative and messaging that's really going to connect with people with the right tonality, the right visuals in an unusual marketplace. And so with that, I'm going to jump right into how we're going about understanding that visitor behavior right now. And we've been doing quite a bit of research, and I'm not going to show all of it today in the interest of time, but one of the groups we've spoken with includes Expedia Group. And Expedia Group, as you may know, owns or works with over 200 different websites in the travel space. Some of those include hotels.com, Orbitz, Cheap Tickets, Expedia, etc. So they have a lot of data that they can pull together and share with us so that we can have a pulse on what's happening out there. And some of the information they've been sharing recently is probably not going to be shocking to anyone, but it's good for just reinforcement to remind ourselves that people are still uncomfortable with getting on a plane. However, on the flip side, many people are doing those drive trips just to get away from their day to day. And they're doing that primarily by car. It's not surprising to also see that international travel has gone way down. But when we look at the data provided by Expedia Group, you can see that prior to COVID, lots of people were traveling on airplanes. But as we look at the data more recently, that's obviously gone significantly down, whereas rental cars and personal car trips are certainly trending upward. And we believe that'll continue, at least through the first quarter of 2021. And when they break down the reasons people are traveling right now, the number one reason is to go somewhere with their family, or go somewhere to visit friends or relatives, followed by romantic trips, relaxing trips, and traveling for an activity reason. So moving on, so that's just a sample of some of the research that we've been keeping our eyes on as we try to stay nimble from a marketing strategy with the audience. And at the same time, we're regularly checking the CDC information. We've been running our creative by folks over at LGH, looking at reports provided by groups like Tourism Economics, PRLA, Smith Travel Research, which is a monthly dashboard that gives a summary of the performance at our hotel community and lodging community. And then, of course, our own website, looking at what are people most interested in right now? What are they clicking on? We've got so much content, and our team does an excellent job of staying on top of a challenging situation where hours and whether or not businesses are open are fluctuating sometimes by the day. But with all of that said, we just want to make sure any kind of messaging that we're putting out there in the public right now is prioritizing health and safety, not only because our organization feels like it's the right thing to do, but we also believe that that will be the key to giving tourists confidence to return to Lancaster. And so when we get into who are the groups that are going to travel here and what are they interested in, we've spent a lot of time not only on the media plans, which is a blend of videos that you're seeing in markets like Philadelphia and Baltimore on TV, but also on the digital front, using video content to show people that we're taking COVID-19 very seriously with mask wearing, people cleaning their attractions, and I'll share some of those videos here in a minute. But having that balance of being on TV and being on the digital scene as well. But in the first wave of our campaign in August and September, we had a narrow scope where we deployed our marketing within 75 miles of Lancaster County. And in our approach, what we decided to do from a segmentation standpoint was, rather than develop a video that could speak to lots of different things that people would be interested in, instead of cramming that all into one video for TV, we developed 5 unique TV commercials. One was focused on family fun activities. Another, of course, on the Amish piece of the overall experience, outdoor adventure. Shopping, as everyone knows, is a really key piece to our local economy. Also highlighting our unique boroughs and towns in Lancaster City. So we had 5 different videos where we could show off, so to speak, a wide variety of things to do within those segments. And I'll share the data in terms of performance of those videos here in a minute, but just to give you a taste of the messaging, the visuals, the tonality of this August and September campaign, I'm going to share with you 3 out of the 5 videos in the interest of time. So they're each 30 seconds, and I'm going to jump into the first one right now. Oops.
Hey, do we have sound on this?
So that particular video really focused in on some of the unique towns as well as Lancaster City. And I'm going to go on to the next one just to show you a new range of things, but a consistent message and overall tonality.
Hey, Ed, I don't think there's sound.
Oh, I'm sorry. You guys can't hear that. Let's see. Can you hear it now?
No.
Okay. Let's see. My apologies. Let me see if I can figure this out.
I think there's a microphone that's to the right of the video slider. I think if you click on that,
Okay.
push it up,
Okay. Push that up.
and now
Can you
try.
guys? Okay. Let's see if that works. Any sound yet?
Nope.
No.
No sound.
It's very pretty though.
Sorry. Did you hear that?
No, I can
Okay.
Well,
Well, you know what we'll do?
I'll get the general idea.
Yeah, I think what we'll do is I'll just play through the 30 seconds of footage, and as a follow-up, I'll share the link so that you can hear the sound. But
Okay.
basically, the messaging in these 3 videos basically says, you know, we've been preparing in a safe way to make sure that our visitors feel comfortable, and our businesses are open, and we're encouraging people to travel safely and book their stay. So that is the overall vibe of these videos. I'm sorry that the sound is working on my end, but it's not, I guess, through the Zoom. But why don't I at least go through the visuals so you can get a sense for the variety of the attractions. Okay, so that gives you a taste, at least of the visuals. Again, my apologies on the sound, but I will make sure everybody can watch those again and actually listen to those videos. So I'll share that out with you, Marshall. Maybe you can share it with the group. But moving on, we were talking before the call with Kathleen Sullivan, and our staff was really happy that we could support Lancaster City's Restaurant Week this year. And we're certainly open to continuing to do that in the future. And it was great for me, being new, to be able to go into the city and try some of these new restaurants too, which were awesome. But we want to continue to be that community partner. In addition to Restaurant Week earlier this fall, we did support the RV show over at Clipper Magazine Stadium, which surprisingly performed very well in their first year. They didn't really know what to expect, with an estimated attendance of 3,000 to 5,000 people, and their actual attendance was over 11,000. So I don't believe there's anyone on the call from Clipper Magazine Stadium, but I believe the plan is to bring the RV show back next fall. Moving on to some grassroots efforts. One of the things we decided to do, seeing the research indicate that drive trips and road trips were going to be more important than ever, we tested something new with a company called Carvertise, which allows you to put messaging on a fleet of cars, have them drive around in a marketplace, and basically serve as a moving billboard. And what's unique about the company is that they can track where the cars are driving so that we know they're not parked in a garage somewhere. And they use GPS technology quite a bit in their reporting. And so we did 16 cars across Philadelphia, Baltimore, and Wilmington, and emphasizing the travel safe message with masks on front of the cars. You can see a few of the pictures here. And this was just a new grassroots test, wasn't a significant investment, but we were able to see the heat maps of where these cars were driving in these various markets, and even got some nice PR coverage out of testing this campaign in the Delaware Business Times. But in summary, these cars drove over 2,000 miles. The average number of impressions was over 360,000 impressions. And so this is something we may test again next summer, but we felt it was worthwhile to test given the environment we're in right now. At the same time, the team's been very aggressive building those relationships with the media. And we've been fortunate as of late to get some nice PR hits highlighting things to do in Lancaster City and beyond. And Joel Cliff, our head of PR, has done a really nice job navigating through COVID, when every destination, of course, wants to be in the news as much as possible. And we've had a lot of great placement, not only on some local publications, but on the national scene as well. And these are just a few of those PR hits. Okay, so shifting into, okay, you did all this marketing and PR and grassroots stuff. What happened? What were the results? Well, prior to us deploying the campaign in the months of August and September, you can get a sense for the interest level in finding out things to do at discoverlancaster.com. A far cry from where we were a year ago. When you look at the bar chart there for May, just a little bit more than 1/3 of the traffic. And you can see, though, that in June and July, very traditional, popular summer months to travel here, in orange for 2020, it started to increase. And then you can see that trend continue up through October. But when you look at the numbers, you can see there the gap between a year ago and this current year monthly website visitation to discoverlancaster.com. And one thing I want to point out here is that the advertising campaign was running during the months of August and September. And so what's important there is that we were able to close the gap in a decent manner during that advertising period. You can see there highlighted in green. Moving on, when we look at how we're funded, which is primarily through the hotel tax, it's a similar story. As we were starting to advertise, fortunately, we were able to close the gap versus the impact of last year. So from an occupancy standpoint, this basically indicates how full are the hotels across Lancaster County in a given month. And you can see there when we were doing this advertising push in the months of August and September, we were able to help close that gap. And fortunately, from all of that television advertising for 8 straight weeks, we saw some residual effect in October as well. So that's just sort of a snapshot at some of the data we look at. Another layer of analysis that we take a look at is through a company called Arrivalist, which is able to track our digital marketing work, where if people click on a digital ad, Arrivalist can then ping that phone where you're clicking from and actually watch to see if you actually end up in the marketplace based on your zip code and through tracking of GPS and all that crazy, scary mobile technology that's available. But you can see that during the advertising period, we were able to see a lift. And so in summary, in August and September, we did receive a CARES Act marketing grant that we spent in the amount of $815,000. So we were really happy to get the full support of all three of our county commissioners. And recently, we were given an additional grant to turn this campaign back on here in November. We started rerunning those television ads this week, and we're currently wrapping up a new holiday themed video that we will insert into the campaign starting next week. But to get the support from the county commissioners in the last several months, in a year where the hotel tax revenue to support our organization has been a lot less, this has been really helpful for Lancaster County to remain as competitive as we can. So in closing, I just want to share a couple things regarding Q4. There are still many businesses that are open, not only in the city, but also in the countryside, if you will. And Discover Lancaster is going to continue to make sure people are aware of this, not only through our television advertising, but our daily social media posts, making sure our website is refreshed and up to date with all the latest openings, closings, hours, etc. But you can see here on the screen things that are back and planned. And in terms of the 500K that we were given through the CARES Act, again, we want to build off that earlier momentum we started in August and September, continue to highlight our main streets, restaurants, hotels, and places to stay. What's different about this last wave here to close out the year is that we are expanding into places like New York and DC beyond the initial 75-mile radius from the first wave of our campaign. And I'm happy to say that last week we wrapped up filming at some great places that worked with us and even put up holiday decor prior than when they normally would, so that we could film and start to create a holiday themed video that we can place in the markets that we're trying to bring in visitation from. So we filmed scenes of shopping in the city. We did a dining scene over at the Belvedere Inn. We received footage from the Christmas Spirit Light Show. We're able to get in and film a rehearsal of Elf, which will be playing over in the Dutch Apple Dinner Theater, but also round out with some family fun scenes as well. I don't have the completed video to share yet, but we'll have that very soon. We're still wrapping this up, but the fact that we're going to be on TV quite a bit to close out the year is encouraging. And I think what people need to hear is that given all of the information that's changing by the day, we are developing several different voiceovers to complement this footage. Some of them have the intent to drive visitation in the short term. Other scripts say things like Lancaster is open and safe, and we're here when you're ready to travel. And so we have to be very flexible and nimble in the messaging we have out there right now. But at the end of the day, all of these visuals will show people wearing masks, as much social distancing as possible, and more importantly, highlighting the places that are open for business right now. And that brings me to this awesome partnership that Deb Brand, I know she's on the call, came to us with and asked if we would support it. And we said right away, we're in. Whatever we can do to help the city. I think she came up with a very creative platform to highlight these key Saturdays coming up. And I don't want to steal her thunder. I don't know if you want to kind of jump in at all, Deb, but I just had sort of this slide and the next one, which has a wide range of bullet points. And I know in the interest of time, we probably don't want to read through all the depths of this campaign, but the Have a Heart campaign that you put together, I think is great. We're happy to be a part of supporting this. And I don't know if you want to just touch on a couple of the bullet points.
And actually, I think that's a good segue into what's next on the agenda. So
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well then if I may, the last slide I really had was just kind of summarizing and reiterating what we've been talking about today, which is, understanding that visitor behavior, keeping our ear to the ground, making sure that our messaging is on point with what's happening in the world right now, making sure we're going after the right segments, and then that creative piece to form that connection. So that was all I had. Hopefully it didn't take too much time. On the videos, I'll share those links because I'm sure after watching them, you want to know what's being said. So we'll make sure we get those out to you.
Great. Ed, thanks so much. And before we do talk about the holidays, I do want to give folks the opportunity to ask any questions on what they heard from you today. I did see a few in the chat box, Ed. One was in the one slide about the modes of transportation, why the rental car increase. I mean, I'm assuming it's probably urban areas for folks that don't have cars that don't want to use planes and trains, but can you could you elaborate on that?
Yeah, that's correct. That's exactly right. For those that don't have a car, they still want to get away, and they feel more comfortable renting a car right now. But road trips are big, and Lancaster County is not the only destination that's targeting road trips. We do have competitors, and I do think we benefit from our geography. It's a great destination to get to from a Baltimore or a Philadelphia on a road trip, and we're just really happy that the county commissioners gave us some funding to be able to tell our story in a big way when, quite frankly, some of our competitors didn't have that advantage. And so although our numbers are still significantly off from a year ago, month by month, having these types of campaigns out there have helped us at least close the gap where, unfortunately, for some of our competitors, they didn't have that.
Great, thanks, Ed. Another one was in the chart. Wait, let me go back a little bit. Why the peaks and valleys in the arrival list graph? Is it on weekends? Does that have anything to do with weekend travel?
Yes, it does. Great observation. Weekends have done really well, especially when we talk with our hotel partners. If there's one thing they've asked us for help right now, it's trying to get visitation during the week. But what our hotel community is seeing is people are getting out of town and they want to go somewhere. They don't want to be pent up, especially on the weekends. And that's something that, we're going to try to capitalize on too. We're still trying to solve for weekdays, which isn't easy, although we have heard from our bed and breakfast community that there's an unusual amount of folks who are doing what they call a workcation, where although they're asked to be working from home for the organization they work for, they would rather leave their own walls and go to a bed and breakfast or a hotel and kind of switch up their environment and do work on their laptop in a different place. So that's an interesting trend too that we're starting to hear more about as we navigate through this. But yes, weekends are definitely driving that arrivalist data that we're looking at. And I don't expect that to change too much in the near future, but I know Deb, the campaign also focuses on weekends, and we got to hit those weekends big.
And then finally, from the chat box, there was a lot of positive comments on the video. Can you share who produced it?
Yes, so we did work with a company called 2020 Media. This was a connection that I had from my previous world. Going forward, we're already hearing from several, and I've met with several local video firms that we'll be collaborating with. But the company, if you wanted to look at any of their other work, is called 2020 Visual Media. And they are based in suburban Philadelphia. My just full disclosure, my prior role was with the Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board. And I was always impressed with the agency, mainly at the speed at which they could work. And we had to turn those videos around within 1 week, which is typically unheard of. And I'm sure the marketers on the call can relate to that, but they work very fast. And we feel like they really were able to showcase a very wide range of attractions and things that were open. So we did task them with refreshing for the holiday video, and I'm happy with their work. I think they did a really nice job, but I'm more of the ilk of hire local, right? Let's work with our local partners and help the local business. We just made a unique pivot because we had to turn something around so quickly. And being new, I wanted to bring in a group that I knew could deliver in a short period of time.
Great. All right, one more question, then we can move on. Who is our competition in terms of attracting visitors?
Yeah, that's a really good question. In fact, we were having this discussion internally even last week. In close proximity, it's definitely places like Chester County, Montgomery County, Berks County. But we also look at places like Ocean City, Maryland, Williamsburg, Virginia, some of the cities too. And we look at them because we want to understand, the positioning that they're trying to establish in terms of what types of attractions they're focusing on, what their messaging is. And everyone is after those tourism dollars right now. And that's where, when we can test something like Carvertise, where we're wrapping cars with imagery and be a little bit different than some of the other competitors, we're gonna continue to try a lot of new things, because although not all of them have funding to be out there in a big way right now, they're still very aggressive on the most cost-effective places like social media. And so we're looking at our competitors on a regular basis, and it's not just the counties right around us. We're looking to see what some further out destinations like a Williamsburg, Virginia, Baltimore, of course, Philadelphia, and even some of the beach towns. Even though we don't have a beach and we can't really directly compete against the beach like Ocean City, Maryland, or some of the Jersey shore points, we still take a close look at what their tonality is and their messaging and what they're doing right now.
All right, Ed, thanks so much. Any other questions before we move on to the holidays?
Sure. So at this point, should I stop sharing my screen, Marshall?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes, you can stop.
Thank you. Thank you for the time too. I really appreciate it.
No, Ed, thank you. Appreciate everything that you're doing for the county, for the city, and looking forward to this continued partnership. So yeah, thank you for taking the time.
Absolutely.
And stay on, because you did have a great segue into our next agenda item, which is supporting our merchants for the holidays. And this is a big one. This is an important one. So I'm going to turn it over to Ann. Are you starting? Okay, Ann, take it away, Ann.
You can turn it over to me. Thank you. I have several of our marketing partners on with us this morning, and Ed set us up perfectly. So, our goal for the holiday season is to get the message out to the general public that the city is open for business and is a place to safely celebrate the holidays. So as you heard from Ed, you're going to hear from FIG, the Barnstormers, me a little bit, and Lancaster Office of Promotion. We're coordinating our resources more than ever before to enhance the way we reach your customers this season. We all have our own campaigns, but for your customers, we want to show that this is, one big holiday destination and it's safe to be here. So I'm going to turn it over to Annie first. She's going to expand on her presentation from last month.
Hi, everyone. Very exciting. Thanks, Ed. And I'm really excited to be here today. So the Visitor Center is open for business. It took a lot of hard work behind the scenes to reopen safely. So we're open again on market days 9 to 3. Our website newly revamped. Check it out, look at your business listing, and help us kind of expand our reach. So if there are new businesses right next to you, your neighbors, share our website. If you have questions on like how to add your own in-store event to our website, just ask, we can help you there. If you need maps inside your business, we're happy to deliver, whether it's us or the bike ambassadors. So, we had questions about our events in terms of how we're hosting them. Why can't we do the tree lighting this year? Our events, in a good way, typically draw thousands upon thousands of beautiful people, and we can't do that this year. But there is, the tree itself is gorgeous. It was delivered yesterday. We already had people commenting, they're coming to town specifically to take pictures near the tree. We hope to capture that foot traffic, send them around, take a lap, eat, drink, shop while you're here. We're doing something new. We have a letters to Santa mailbox right outside of our door. So in English or Spanish, kids can drop off letters and they will reply. Someone will reply. We know that for a fact. But so we also publish our holiday brochure, and all the hotels in the city have a copy of that. So if you need additional copies, just let us know. But that includes everything that's going on for the week, including the free parking and the market hours, and then all of our events that we run. We also keep an eye on what are our partners doing. So what's Fulton Theater doing? What's the Ware Center doing? What's PCAD doing? And helping promote and highlight those events. So the tree lighting itself, we're breaking up into the weekend of the 4th and 5th. And that includes Santa on a fire truck, Santa in a Corvette. We're kind of getting out to the neighborhoods a little bit more. And we have Prima Theater doing carolings from a trolley. So there are a lot of fun things that we've really worked hard to adapt and create that holiday festiveness. So the one that we want to talk about here is the Small Business Saturday and Shops Late. So that's what our office is really spending time and energy on highlighting, as well as the festive Saturdays that Deb will talk about. So I'm going to share the link to the survey here, but if you can fill out what your, one that you're participating in Shop Small Business Saturday, and then Shops Late, it kind of talks a little bit about like what it means to participate in Shops Late, and then how we can highlight you further. So I'll share that here. Okay, and that's it, Anne, I think. Okay.
All right, thanks, Annie. And
Thank you.
We're all in this together, and we want to help you as best as we can. So keep those lines of communication open, and we will help you as best we can this holiday season. So up next is Deb to talk about that amazing Have Heart campaign.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for letting me talk today. And also I want to say a huge bit of appreciation to Ed and Discover Lancaster for the tremendous effort they've put into kind of pivoting and really going to bat for the city and for all businesses in the county with the commissioners. So it's just been tremendous getting to know Ed and working with him even in the short time that he's been here. So I wanted to just say thank you to Ed.
Thank you, Deb.
Yes. So, obviously everyone is concerned about our small business community. And so I was talking with retailers, especially a shout out to Rebecca from Bill and Rue, because she actually helped craft this campaign. So thank you to her. And, you know, what I was hearing is that, one, we need to get people into the downtown. And I know that that's tricky right now. So it has to be done safely. And there's lots of different messages that have to go out. But the main goal is to get people into the downtown or shopping on local websites. So I actually approached the wonderful people that are on the list of sponsors that are helping to really make this thing come to life, because without the sponsors that we have, we wouldn't be able to do any of this. So they are Discover Lancaster, the Lancaster City Alliance, obviously, the City of Lancaster, and the Barnstormers. So we've had this consortium that has been working together for the past month to pull this together. I know, you know, time is of the essence. So it's called Have a Heart. And the main campaign is running from this week until December 31st. And really the way that this campaign will be successful is if everyone gets the materials out. I did send an email out to all retail and restaurants on our list, as well as Lancaster City Alliance list. So if someone didn't get, if you are a retail or restaurant and you didn't get an email from me, I sent 2 out. Maybe it went into your spam. Please reach out to us, because we really want as much participation as possible. And you can email Tina at figindustries.com and she'll send you all the information, because we really did try to reach everyone. There are about 75 businesses that are signed up already. We started to deliver all the materials so far. I'm not going to go through everything on this list because it would take too long, but included in the promotion is a social and digital blitz on all of our channels, as well as all of our partner channels. And I did send a digital toolbox out to all of the businesses who responded, the 75 businesses, as well as our partners, so that the graphics can be put out on Instagram, on Facebook, as well as people will be getting emails that can go out through all the digital channels. So the goal is to get it out as far as we can to everyone, and to get people to come into the downtown and shop and eat for the months of November and December, and then specifically on the 4 Saturdays leading up to the holidays. And what we tried to do is tie those 4 Saturdays into everything else that's going on, because as Ann said, we don't want this to be a standalone. So, you know, the first Saturday is, we're calling it Love for Local, and it's really celebrating Small Business Saturday. So, and that with that the city is working on, the LCA is working on. The second one is called Winter Wonderland, and that ties into what the city is doing on the 4th and the 5th. The second Saturday, that's December 5th. December 12th, we're calling it Candyland, because we wanted to give all of the retailers an easy opportunity to give something away, and it would be a piece of wrapped candy. It needs to be wrapped. And then the 4th Saturday is called Christmas Tree Lane. And that ties in with what the Barnstormers, they had I'm so excited about this. They're bringing their Christmas Tree Lane, and Kristen's going to talk about it next. They're bringing their Christmas Tree Lane from Clipper Stadium into the downtown, so people can walk around and find the trees and vote for their nonprofit. But Kristen's going to talk about that. So it's really amazing how, you know, really the overarching campaign is to get people downtown, but how all of these things can fit into this. So thank you to everyone who is making that happen. Then there's like fun stuff like swag. So there's the t-shirts that are being delivered to all the merchants so they can wear them on the weekends if they want to. We have these cool holographic stickers that people can only get if they purchase something, because we want them to buy something. And then this fun little, it's a point of purchase display that if anyone points their phone at the QR code, they're entered to win our citywide raffle. So the only commitment from the small business is to donate a $25 gift card to the raffle. So far we have about $1,500 in gift cards. We're going to split that up into 3 winners for $500 each. That is the only commitment. We wanted to make this as easy and cost-free to the businesses as possible. So that would be encouraging people to sign up. There is also about $2,000 being put into Facebook ads, which will be going out. They're starting today. They're in the evaluation phase with Facebook at the moment. What else? The billboards. So worked with Clipper and Oak Tree, and there will be billboards all around the city and in the corridors coming into the city to get people into the downtown. And those billboards, the run date starts this week and it will run through December 21st. It's more about the main campaign. You'll also see Facebook advertising for each of the 4 events as well. There will be street maps that the city of Lancaster was able to help us with the graphics because they had the street map already. And those street maps will be sent to all of the businesses so that you can print them out and you can show people where else to go. Because we received feedback that people want to be able to see where to go next when they're at one store to the other. We will be taking photography on the Saturdays so that we have photography. We'll also be doing live feeds around town on those Saturdays and some other fun stuff. So that was a lot. We'd be happy to send you the email that outlines everything. And what we're looking for is similar to what Annie is looking for each of those Saturday events. We are listing everything that's happening. So we're just trying to capture that and give people as many reasons as we can to come downtown. If for some reason things would shift with regulations, we are prepared to shift all of the messaging to an online message. But we're not doing that until we would absolutely have to.
All right, thanks, Deb.
Questions?
Oh yeah, questions, anyone? If not, we will jump over to Kristen Simon with the Barnstormers, who will tell you about Christmas Tree Lane and all the amazing things they're doing.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me. It's so exciting seeing all these familiar faces that I haven't seen in a long time, so I love it. And thanks, Deb, and everybody for coming together and all your hard work on this incredible campaign. We're so just excited to be a part of this. And it's really been a pretty big deal for us to transition Christmas Tree Lane as it has existed the last 2 years within the stadium to an event around the city. So literally as we speak, half of our staff is on the streets delivering Christmas trees to all these different locations downtown. We have about 50 Christmas trees that are going to be going around the city and a few other locations within the county, mostly retail locations and dining locations within the city. And they will be all delivered by the end of the week, and they will be all decorated by the 24th of November, in which we will then start photographing every single tree at every location and then launch our voting campaign. So essentially how Christmas Tree Lane works is businesses have sponsored each of these trees that are being placed in these retail locations. We then take those images and we're creating individual marketing campaigns for each of them. So each of these trees is getting its own digital billboard around the county, talking about the company that sponsored it and the nonprofit that it's supporting, encouraging people to go to our website to vote for these trees. Each vote for a tree is $1, and 100% of those proceeds go back to the nonprofit. In addition, we're kicking in additional prize money for top vote getters, judges' choice of trees, so on and so forth. Last year, $33,000 was given back to local nonprofits. So we have a pretty large goal to do something similar this year. But what's great about it is all of our marketing is going to be supporting visiting these different locations to shop and dine throughout the holidays to see these trees in person. So people do have the option to see these trees in person, and they are going to exist virtually, as I said, on our website, which is our voting platform as well. So we're really excited. It's been a lot of work with our staff, but it's such a cool thing that hopefully can be our tradition moving forward. We love the participation with the city and just bringing our city to life for the holidays. And we're just really happy to be a part of something that's come together so quickly and something that's so magical for our city. So any questions for me?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Oh, Kristen, you say the voting will start after November 24th. Will the individual nonprofits who are benefiting from a tree get their unique link to their virtual page?
Yes, yes. Everybody is going to receive their unique links. We have one person on our staff that's in charge of coordinating with the retail locations, the nonprofits, and the companies, and she's going to be pushing all of that out. That will be those links will be created once all the trees are photographed. So
Okay.
that will be beginning to middle of next week once every tree has been photographed.
I can't think of anything else. And also, are all your trees spoken for, or are you still accepting registrations to?
So we will still we have the ability to continue to get more trees. They're coming from Elizabeth Farms. So if we continue to sell them, we'll continue to put them out in the community. So we will still take sales for them. At this point, we do have some retail locations and restaurants that are requesting them that we have not sold yet. So we have a few more people that are asking to host than we have sold, but we are still selling, and we have some pending that we expect to come in. So we've done a pretty good job matching everybody up, but if anybody wants to purchase a tree, we still have that ability. And we do have a very short waiting list for people that want to take a tree once it's sold.
I think they're going to be a great driver for the businesses that have them placed there.
And we plan on supporting Where to See the Trees, along with the Have a Heart campaign and everything else that's going on with the city throughout all of our, we're going to be doing some paid social media campaigns, some email blasts. I know Deb has a tag in for the Have a Heart campaign in 3 full-page ads in Clipper Magazine that are running, have dropped recently in Lancaster, Harrisburg, and York. So we're trying to, that's in addition to our Christmas Spirit Light Show that we're promoting that kicks off the 28th. So we tried to bring it all together and take it a little bit out of market as well.
Can your marketing person, I believe, is it Alexandra?
It's me.
Oh, you.
I'm doing it all right now. COVID.
Would you be able to give me a list of the city of Lancaster places?
Sure.
Because
yeah.
We would naturally probably want to photograph those ourselves, the way we do our holiday window decorating contest, and share that with Fee, because Deb's shaking her head yes so much she's going to sprain her neck. And maybe create a little video or something. That would be great. I would
be happy to. Yes, and Deb actually asked for something similar, but we're going to be listing that, so there's a full listing of where people can visit all these trees as well.
Okay.
And Kathleen, the map that we're giving out, we wanted to plot all the trees. We just weren't sure if they were all going to be ready in time, and we want to get the map out. So yeah, we're trying to find a place where we can give people the walking trail.
Kristen, I have a question. Sandy Gamboni.
Sandy!
Kristen, since we didn't have our tree at Water Street Mission because of the pandemic and people coming on campus, Mid-Penn Bank knows that, but are they going to communicate with you to ensure that they get their tree to a downtown business, since they themselves are not downtown? I want to make sure that it's placed in the city.
Sandy, let me follow up with you on that and see what that communication has been.
Yes.
Alex on our team's in charge of all the placements and everything, so let me see what's going on with that.
Okay, good. I'll PM you my email.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hey, Kristen, as far as the trees, what's the setting they have to be in? Is it inside, outside? Is there a certain amount of space that's needed? Yeah,
we're recommending inside, just to, unless you have some sort of weather protected area, but they are real trees. They're going to have to be watered a little bit. We're going to do our best to maintain them around the city, but they're 5 to 7 feet tall, and we provide a tree stand. So we've been communicating with people that have been asking to be hosts, the approximate size that they can expect to get, and they can accommodate, to ensure they can accommodate that size tree and so on and so forth. But we are asking them to be placed inside.
Great. Any other questions for Kristen? Great. So while we're talking about decorations, Lindsay, I see you're on the call. Do you want to give a plug on the window decorating contest?
Yes, definitely. Still doing the Lancaster City window decorating contest with Loop and the City Alliance. So hoping everyone will be decked out. And if you would like, we will put photos of windows up on the voting site. So you can email me or Lori your photos of your windows. Actually, as soon as you start decorating, you can send those and we can put them up on the voting site.
And the online voting, it starts on the 27th of November and it runs through December 18th. And we kind of took that format also and stretched it to the neighborhoods. So that neighbors are decorating as well, decorating porches, decorating windows, and using the hashtag #LankhOlidayMagic.
And we will have information about how to register for, sign up for the holiday window decorating contest, where to send your photos, etc., in our minutes.
Great. Great. Thanks, Lindsay. Thanks, Annie, everyone. And again, thank you to Kristen and Annie, LNP, Lindsay, and Ed for really collaborating on this very special in many ways holiday season. So thank you all. And hopefully all the merchants, retailers, and restaurants that are on the call and beyond will participate. And if you are, please talk to your neighbors. Obviously, the more that we have participate, the larger impact this has. So please help spread the word so that this is the best holiday season ever. So I'm going to turn it over to our great Kathleen Sullivan. She has a great backdrop today. And so if you like, what you see, if you like the types of meetings that we're having, like the meeting we're participating in today, remember that on Friday, November 20th. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Kathleen.
Well, I'm sure it comes as no surprise to any of you that we are just one day away from the Extraordinary Give on Friday. And when you donate to the Lancaster City Alliance, you are supporting things like our red-shirted ambassadors who patrolled over 11,000 bike miles last year and 7,500 foot patrol hours. From the moment that the coronavirus pandemic began, Lancaster City Alliance responded swiftly. We hosted virtual merchant meetings and special merchant meetings with updates from experts on issues ranging from regulations to safety to grants to loans and funding. We provided financial support so 60 local retailers and restaurants could advertise at a discount in the summer food and drink issue of FIG Lancaster. We partnered with the City of Lancaster to expand outdoor retail and restaurant space. And we served as a funding sponsor once again to Lancaster City Restaurant Week and Lancaster City Indie Retail Week. For those reasons and lots more, I am hoping you will consider a donation this Friday to the Lancaster City Alliance. I would also like to show you one of my favorite videos that was created to promote our participation in that event. So I'm going to try and share it with you now. Fingers crossed.
Hi, I'm Lori Herr, Team Coordinator for the Lancaster City Alliance. We rely on contributions from people like you to support our small business community. I have come to know so many of the small business owners through the monthly merchant meetings and see just how devoted they are to the future of the city of Lancaster. When you give to the Lancaster City Alliance, you provide local merchants with resources to help them be successful business owners in the city. Your donation is a recognition that small businesses are an essential piece of our local economy. You can support your friends and neighbors in the small business community during the Extraordinary Give on November 20th with a donation to the Lancaster City Alliance. Thank you.
So give extra on Friday to Lancaster City Alliance and so many other worthy nonprofits. Thank you all so much.
Great. Thank you, Kathleen. And thank you, Lori. Well done.
Yes. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
And I just want to put in a shameless plug for that beautiful banner that says we're all in this together and open. You can get those at the H&H Group.
And I would also point out, and this was mentioned in the video as well, that we have a lot of nonprofit partners, many on this call, including SCORE, that could also are also counting on the generosity of our community to keep doing what we're doing. So while obviously we want you to remember Lancaster City Alliance, this collaborative effort and our partners are very important too. So be remiss if not for not pointing that out. So thanks everyone.
Thank you, Marshall.
Kathleen, do you want to do the MEM committee report?
We started working on special presentations for our new year coming up. And we're going to do New Year, New Neighbors for January. There were actually almost a record number of new businesses that opened, and many of them were in the last 3 months. I call that a vote of confidence in the value people see in having a small business here in the city of Lancaster. And we hope to introduce you to some of them at our January merchant meeting. We will also be doing a virtual member milestone. Since March, we have not been able to present any anniversary awards. And so we'll be doing so by creating a video of our 5, 10, 15 year and up anniversary awards. And that's the royal we. We sent out 6 new welcome packets in the last this month alone. Our Shop Small subcommittee is working on all of the things that you mentioned already right here. One of the most important things that I would like to reiterate, and it is in the chat and it will be in the minutes, is if you haven't completed the Shop Small survey, if you have a business downtown, please take a moment and complete it and let us know if you will be participating in Small Business Saturday, Lancaster Shops Late, which is on December 10th. Small Business Saturday is November 28th, or Cyber Monday, and Cyber Monday is on November 30th, so that we can add you to the website, the list of participants that we will be promoting. And I think that's it, Marshall.
Great, thank you, Kathleen. One more shout out for Extra Give, our partners at Water Street Mission. Yay, Sandy. All right. It's 9:30.
Thank you for that, Marshall. I didn't have to private message you to remind you to do that. Thank you.
I know if I didn't say it, I would have heard it later, but I
know me well. Thank you.
So we do have a few minutes. We could end now, but if anyone has any comments or questions for the greater good, now's the time.
Well, I would like to say that if anyone needs to get in the holiday spirit, and I can't think of a year that the holiday spirit is more welcome and probably needed, stop by Festoon. It's like a wonderland in there. It's absolutely gorgeous. So make it a point to visit the firehouse on Duke Street.
Yes, they never disappoint. Kevin.
Yes, Marshall. I did want to share with this group that the Convention Center and the Marriott have received certification from the Global Biorisk Advisory Council Star Facility Rating. What that is a safer level of protocols. So for those coming to events at the Convention Center, we're not at the baseline of CDC level, we're at a higher level, which event venues are all over the US and the world are trying to achieve this level of certification. So those who visit our properties have a greater level of confidence in showing up to these venues, that they would be less likely to contract something like COVID-19. Now, I do understand we're in a very difficult time with all the spiking of late, but we're not also in a position where we have events tomorrow, though we did have a nice event last weekend. We do see, after the new year, that we will see some interest in having events. We have as many contracted events for 2021 as we did for 2019, which was a banner year. The question is, which will actually happen and who will show up? And we're trying to help the who will show up side by meeting the standard of the Global Biorisk Advisory Council. And I thought, as merchants and downtown folks, we're trying to do our part to be able to recover and help Lancaster City and Lancaster County get out of this economic challenge we're all faced because of COVID-19.
Excellent.
Wonderful.
Great. Thank you, Kevin. Anything else? Anyone else?
Yes, I'd like to chime in for just a second. My name's Gloria, and I'm one of the travel consultants at Loop. And I just wanted to offer a bit of encouragement. We are seeing out-of-town guests come in, and quite a few, actually. And they are eager to shop our small businesses, eat at our restaurants, and enjoy our town. So I just wanted to offer that as encouragement. You're not speaking into a vacuum. You're not acting into a vacuum. People are here. They want what you're offering, and they're really taking a good feeling back home, and often come and talk about returning. So I just want to offer some encouragement to keep on going and doing what you're doing. Thank you. Have a great day.
Great. Thanks, Gloria.
Thanks, Gloria.
All right. That's a great ending, I think, for the for the meeting. Thank you for that, Gloria, and thank you, everyone. Don't forget Friday and the holidays, and please have a safe Thanksgiving. We'll see everyone soon. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.